Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will learn everything about fractions in 10 minutes exactly. So, when we say a fraction, the first example that comes in our mind is, let's say 1 over 2, or let's say 3 over 4, and so on. So, fractions are parts of a whole. So for example, if we have a fraction that says 1 over 2, that basically means we have a whole that is split into two equal parts. So the number on the bottom tells us into how many parts do we split a whole, and then the number on top tells us how many parts do we take. So when we say 1/2, this is what we mean by that. Okay, let's try another example. If we have, let's say 3 over 4, then it means we have one whole. This time I will use a rectangle to represent it. We cut it into how many equal parts? Into 4 equal parts. Out of these 4 equal parts, we have to color 3 of them. So 3 out of 4. We can basically say that we read it as 3 out of 4, or we can say 3 over 4. All right, so that is how we read this fraction over here. What is important? The number that is on top is called numerator. So the number that is on top is called the numerator, and the number that is on bottom is called denominator. Please make sure that you take notes and that you write most important things down. So in this one here, the number that is on top, we call it numerator, and the number that is on bottom, we call it denominator. You can memorize this as down denominator. All right, you can see here how to write it. You can always pause the video, take all the notes that you have. Now, if we have a fraction that has 1 as the numerator, for example, 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 5, 1 over 11, and so on. These fractions are called unit fractions. So, if they have 1 as their numerator, then we call them unit fractions. All right. Now, another very important thing is proper and improper fractions. If we say, for example, 3 over 4, then what do we notice here? A number that is on top is smaller than the number that is on bottom. Excellent. Such fraction we call a proper fraction. Okay? Let's try more examples. If we have, for example, 5 over 6. 5 is smaller than 6. Numerator is smaller than denominator, so we call it a proper fraction. If we have, for example, 11 over 25, still, numerator is smaller than denominator, so we call it a proper fraction. Excellent. But what if we have the opposite thing? What if we have 5 over 4? The numerator is bigger than denominator. Or if we have 6 over 5, or if we have 11 over 3, and so on. These fractions are not proper, but improper fractions. Right? So we have proper fractions and we have improper fractions. If the number on top is greater than number on bottom, we call it improper fractions. And if number on top is smaller than number on bottom, we call it proper fractions. All right. Another very important thing is the line in the middle. So when we say, for example, 6 over 5, we said this one is numerator, this one is denominator, but the line that's in the middle basically is called fraction line, and it represents division. So that means if it's possible we can divide, right? So if we have, imagine we have 10 over 2. Oh, this is the same as division. So we can say 10 divided by 2, which is later equal to 5. Oh, this is perfect. What if we have 6 divided by 3? Then we can say it's 2. Right? So if it's possible, we can divide it. But sometimes it's not. If I say 5 over 8, can I divide 5 by 8? No, that's fine. We leave it as 5 over 8. So what's important? Fraction line represents division. All right. What if I tell you, how do I write number 8 as a fraction? Oh, what over what will give me 8? Can we divide 8 by 1? What is 8 divided by 1? 8. Oh, what else? What if we say 16 over 2? Because 16 divided by 2 is also equal to 8. Oh, but what if we try, for example, let's say 80 over 10? Oh, 80 over 10 is also 8. So then this is how we write any number as a fraction. Excellent. What if we have, for example, number 1? How do we write 1 as a fraction? So we can say 1 over 1, right? Because 1 divided by 1 is 1. Oh, what else can we say? We can say, for example, 5 divided by 5. Oh, so that means we can say 20 divided by 20. Or we can say 35 divided by 35 will give us 1, and so on and so on. All right, you are doing a great job. All right, let us move on to something very important. That is simplification. All right, what do we mean by simplification? If we have a fraction, for example, 3 over 6. First of all, this is a proper fraction. We know it by now. Now my question is, can this fraction be simplified? Oh, well, can I divide both number 3 and number 6 by the same number? Yep, we can divide this one by 3 and we can divide this one by 3. So what do we get then? 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. Oh, guys, so this means that 3 over 6 is basically the same as 1 over 2. Just this one is written in simpler form. Okay, how do we prove that these two are actually equal? If we have, for example, 3 over 6, we know that we have to split our shape into 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of these 6 equal parts, we have to color 3 of them, right? Because it's 3 out of 6. Okay, on the other side, the same shape we split into 2 parts, but out of these 2, we will color only 1 out of 2. Oh, but isn't this the same? Isn't this the same as this? That means these two are actually equal. Okay, when we talk about simplification, why don't we simplify, for example, 24 over 36? Okay, we have a fraction and not that small, right? 24 out of 36. Can we simplify this? Can we divide both numerator and denominator by one number? Yes, we can divide this one by 2 and we can divide this one by 2. Okay, no problem. What is 24 divided by 2? 12. And what is 36 divided by 2? 18. Oh, but wait, is this in simplest form or we can simplify further? Yes, we can divide them by 3, for example. We have many different options. Okay, what is 12 divided by 3? 4. What is 18 divided by 3? Oh, it's 6. Is this in simplest form? Not yet. Because 4 can be divided by 2 and 6 can be divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Can we simplify this any further? No, we cannot. Because 2 and 3 cannot be divided by one number. So guys, this tells us that 24 out of 36 is the same as 12 out of 18 is the same as 4 out of 6 is the same as 2 over 3. Just of all of them, 2 over 3 is in simplest form because it cannot be simplified any further. But all of these fractions are equal. That's why we call them equivalent fractions. All right. That's it in today's lesson. In the next lesson, we will explain what mixed numbers are and how to write a number from improper fraction to a mixed number. See you in the next video.